The making of the South Dakota High School Rodeo Finals involves the orchestration of many moving parts. The right animals and people must come together in Belle Fourche before cowgirls and cowboys can compete in the arena. Stock contractors supply a carefully selected complement of animal athletes. Pickup men and bullfighters help the young contestants get home safely. These are a few of the stories of the people who make it all possible. On a stormy night at their ranch near Martin, Joe Wan and family rounded up the bucking horses chosen for this year's rodeo.
I'm a third-generation stock contractor. My great uncle before me, Joe Bad Wan, he started way back in the 60s and 70s. As for day-to-day around here, we kind of go in seasons, such as we also run cattle, so we got to go through our calving season and haying seasons and all that. But our rodeo season generally starts around the 1st of May and runs till almost December. Monday through Friday it's a rat race around here. We go as hard as we can and get as much as we can done, because Friday to Sunday most times we're off producing a rodeo somewhere. When my dad and them before, we used to take them young horses and we'd give them the worst possible scenario to go out and buck. We'd put a green kid on a green horse and hope for the best. Now we can buck these horses with these dummies 7, 8, 9 times and get them where they have a pattern and they're not as green, and you're not have to buck them on these kids. Now you can take and give these kids a more comparable animal to their abilities.
Rough stock events are exciting, but nobody wants to see a young cowboy get injured. Pickup men like Kirk Schulke of Opal help make sure that doesn't happen.
Growing up as a kid, I always wanted to ride horses and whatnot, and I got into the riding bucking horses. So when I got too old, so-called, to get on anymore, I just loved the sport, and I decided to pick up some bucking horses. As I go along, I got some kids, and he got interested in the riding bucking horses also, and it just makes it all that much more exciting is when you're in the arena with your own son.
I entered my first rodeo when I was 3, riding a sheep, and then it just kind of flowed from there. In high school, I know my dad rode bucking horses, so I was like, well, I want to try it. So I got started, and it's kind of all working out now. Kind of like it.
It takes a special horse to pick up bucking horses. You just can't get on some colt and go do it. He's got to ride the way you ride, and everybody rides different. And some horses don't like it. They just are too scared to do it. So yeah, you gotta have a special horse to do what I do.
Though bullfighters may not get the same accolades that bull riders do, they do play a pivotal role in keeping the kids safe.
I grew up on a little place west of Wagner. My mom and dad always had cows, and we always had horses growing up. We were always going to rodeos throughout my childhood, and I was always found that I paid attention to the bullfighters during the bull riding. And it kind of became a passion of mine and something that I wanted to pursue. Being around livestock definitely helps, just knowing how cattle travel. You know, what lead they come at you on, or I mean how you can change their directions just by stepping one way or another at the right time. My job in the arena, when that bull rider comes off or gets bucked off, is to take the bull away from him, to pretty much distract the bull to make sure that that bull rider can get back to the bucking chutes all right and nobody gets hurt.
Being out there, it is a real big adrenaline rush, but I still get butterflies and get nervous during it, but once it gets rolling, then I kind of calm down and I can think about it. I love doing it. I'd do it every day if I could.
bullfighters, pickup men, and stock contractors. They're just a few of the people who work behind the scenes and in the arena, if not in the spotlight, to make sure your South Dakota High School Rodeo Finals happen and make sure the kids get home safe.